Thank you very much for joining this class or presentation. I don't know how to name it. Dedicated to what Photoshop is for. I mean composite images, because you can do almost everything you want with Photoshop. And the idea today is to create a photo montage with the two images you can see here, which is first a forest, which is in my region where I live actually. And here, a panoramic view of, it's one of my images also. I took it a few years ago when I lived in Paris, which is a very famous Louvre with the pyramid. So we will mix these two images to create a photo montage. Uh, just few words about photomontage. I never, for example, I don't know how to explain, but I never had ideas in advance, which means I will see this image, for example, and I say, okay, it probably not very interesting, but the separation with the sky, which was not very, the weather was not very good the day I was there. I have a very good separation between the sky and the trees, the branches. So it could be an idea to separate, to remove the sky and put something else behind. I will show you, by the way, one example before we start with this one to give you a more precise idea. We'll open this one. So I started from these images. This image, sorry, which is a museum in the city of Lyon. So here, my idea was the same. In fact, I thought if I remove the background behind the windows, I can put something behind. So the idea was to put this image, and at the end, this was the result. Of course, that's a lot of work. That's something you have to consider, because if you begin to play with the pixel and make selections, etc., it always will be a lot of work. Here I added the character, but we will do the same today. I also add some panels here. That's some filters from Boris FX plugin. The sky was made with a luminar, etc., etc. But the same for this one, for the one we will see today, will be to find the right images, because here, when I will remove the sky, I don't have a lot of space behind. As you can see, I have 1/3 and almost nothing on the right here between the trees. So you don't have a lot of space. So it's always a challenge to find the look. For example, if I lower the opacity of this layer, you see, in fact, I will have just the top here, which is good for me. I will just have a little bit of the pyramid, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so that's by scrolling my computer and my images that I found idea. I never start with an idea. Oh, I will do that, etc., etc. The most experienced, they can draw a sketch, with their idea, or write something, etc. No, I personally do like I just explained. Okay, let's start with that. So the first thing, the most important here, first will be to remove the sky. Okay, we never remove everything 100% in Photoshop. We will mask it with a layer mask. You can try a lot of techniques here, for example, but I know it will not work. You go to the top menu, select sky, for example, okay, and we will see what we will get. By the way, it's not bad, but it's far from for perfect. So that's not the technique I will use, because I will spend more time after that to refine or to enhance. So it will be too much work. So Control or Command D to deselect. There is, of course, no tools able to do that work. So the best actually for me the best solution, which is a very, very old technique, by the way. You can do that with Photoshop for a very, very long time, will be to create, to work on an alpha channel. I try to see also in the chat the question. So concerning the version of PS I'm using, normally I use the last one because I have two Photoshop on my computer, one in French, one in English. The one here in English is not the very last, but almost a 24 or some 24/7 or something like that. But I could do that with a much older version. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so alpha channel, how it works. We will go here in the channels panel and we will click the different channels, the red, the green, and the blue, to try to find the most contrasted. So I see the red, okay. The green, there is not a big difference. And now the blue probably is a little bit more contrasted. That's the channel I will use. So the first step will be to duplicate it, but duplicate by dragging it in the small plus. Okay, and I get a blue copy channel, which is the alpha channel. Now I need, as a result on this channel, the idea will be to have everything of the scenery, I mean the trees, etc., the foreground completely black and the sky completely white. So I can go first to image adjustments, curves. Here again, it will not work with a single adjustment here on the panel. You have to, it is destructive. You have no other choice to work on that channel. And here I will lower the dark, I will increase, sorry, the dark tones. So you can see that the contrast begin to be very interesting. And by the way, I'm interested to see what happens here in the sky. Here, that's not a problem. I will, you will see later, I will do. So a little bit more probably. And the contrary here, I will a little bit increase the highlights to have the best contrast I will lower a little bit here. Okay, I think I'm done here. And okay, I will just check. And how you can see, I have now a very good separation. Of course, we will lose a lot of small details, but you don't have here any other choice. So the next step, I will just paint with black here. Everything here in the foreground with black. Okay, I can do like that. I could also select, for example, with any tool, I will select everything together here that I don't need. Black, okay, and I can fill with black. So if you don't know the shortcut, we can go to the top menu, edit, fill with black. Okay, so it's black. And now here we have to be careful. I can still go with a small pen here. No problem. Okay. But everything here just at the edge of my sky, I will not touch it for the moment. I will do another way. Okay. Everything inside with black. Okay. Okay, here also. Here, that's the tree. So it's not always easy to see, but that's the light on the tree. So I can paint it with black. Of course, if I had to be more accurate, I would select first, I don't know, for example, with the pen tool here and fill with black also. Make selection 0 and fill with black. I do that with a short key. Of course, it takes a lot of time to do that very, very accurate, but here we will try to do a little bit faster. Here I can also, I think, fill with black, paint with black. Okay. And now I will do the same, but I will work with the dodge and burn tool. So I want to burn the dark tones. So here in the toolbar, I will select the range shadows, or of course, the more I increase the exposure, the effects will be more effective. But let's try with that. And you see that all the small parts here now. And of course, I don't touch anything else than shadows because I asked for shadows. So now I can go very easily. Okay, like that here, I think. Okay. You see, I try to do fast, but I usually do fast. Okay. Here, a little bit here. Here, I don't know. Okay. I want to make sure that everything is black, even if I think it is, but I will increase the size of my tool and just, okay. Okay. And to be sure, now I will do the contrary with the dodge tool because I want to be sure from step by step. I will do a break, and you will be able to ask questions. So yes, now I want to be sure that the whites are completely white. So once again, I repeat, you select the dodge tool. On the range will be highlights. Exposure, you can go to big number. I think it's not even more, I think. Okay, something like that. And you see, it was not completely white. I can see it. I don't know with the sharing with Zoom if you can see, but I can see some parts where the whites were not completely white. Okay. And I don't play 10 times on the same place. You do 1, 2 times, and it's you are done with that. Okay. Okay. I think my alpha channel is ready. So the next step, the last step for that will be to put your cursor. That's very important on the thumbnail of your Blue Copy channel. You hold the Control or Command key, click, so you get the selection. You come back to the layers panel. As you can see, my layer is in red, and you add a layer mask. Okay, that's the contrary because I want to mask the sky. So Control or Command I, and that's what I get. Uh, of course, it's not perfect, but you have to consider that's very important when you work on composite images. You always have to think the next step. I know it's not perfect, but I will create a dark atmosphere. It will be a night, etc. So I will, of course, enhance here it will be the layer mask. The first thing, so now you can see a little bit of my background. I will see if I can a little bit change the size. No, I think no, it will not change a lot. So I will leave it as it is. So same problem than you can face with a very small details. Like for example, when you select a portraiture, the hair can be a problem because there are very thin details. So we will refine the mask. You have a different possibility. Right click on it and select and mask. But I will show you where it is. You have to go to edit. It depends. I'm on PC. It's edit, but for Mac, it will be in the Photoshop menu. For PC, preferences, tools, and on Mac, they change recently. It's not preferences, but I think settings or something like that. Tools, okay, and be sure that that double click layer mask launches select and mask workspace. Okay. So I can double click here. It's the same. You get exactly the same result. And we will start. So you can here choose the different, you have different possibility of views. I like on layers because it makes the thing real. I like that. You can click the checkbox high quality preview. And we will start with the radius here. Of course, you have to go pixels by pixels. You can't do that like that directly. You click one pixel and you see if it makes a difference. We will just yeah, there is a small look. You have to wait a little bit because sometimes it takes a little bit time to process a little bit. I think it's enough 3. I will go to 4. I don't see a lot of difference now. So for me, it's okay. Smooth, no. Feather, no, because if I increase the feather, as you can see the result. Or you, if you want to do something very artistic, I don't know, something like that, but that's not what we want. So feather, no. Contrast, sometimes the contrast can help to have more contrasted edges, but I think I don't need it. One very important here setting is shift edge. So I will exaggerate. Look, if I go inside, you see, I go inside the selection. So it's not a bad result, but once again, because we are very small details, very thin, don't go, of course, that far. I will show you the contrary, so you will understand. You see, if I go outside, that's the result. So when you are at 0, you can go a little bit here, and you see that's much better. That will be much better. And the magic tool here, decontaminate colors. We will see if we get something. Look what happens before, after. In fact, it will paint everything on my selection. So that's here 100%, the amount, which is the amount proposed by Photoshop. If it's too much, sometimes it's too much here, it works, but you can, of course, decrease a little bit. But you have always to wait a few seconds, or depending of your computers, to see the results. Okay, so I will leave it at 100%. I think it's nice. And you have here different choices. Output to new document with layer mask, but I will choose a new layer with layer mask. Okay, and okay. So now, as you can see, I have a new layer with the refining we just did. Look at the before. That's the before, and that's the after, which is much better. But of course, that's not enough. We need to still work on it. So I will delete this one. That was the previous one. So if I don't need it anymore, I will just delete it. Let's go further. I think I have too much branches and trees here. So on the layer mask here, I show you it again. You see, I have a nice separation. I will just delete these trees because I don't see the architecture anymore. So with a brush, black for black color foreground. Okay, here again, I will do that a little bit fast. I will remove a little bit of the architecture. Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat. Of course, here again, you need to be a little bit more precise, but I'll try to not to spend too much time. Okay, here. Okay. You could also change the setting of the brush to get another brush with, but I think here it's okay. And I will also do same here because I don't see the pyramid behind anymore. So I will select with a tool. Okay, it could be the pen tool. It can be also my preferred polygonal lasso tool. And let's do here something. I will just remove, but you will understand why after, because you will see the result, of course, is not very nice. But once again, it's what I told you. You always have to think the next step. Okay, so I'll do something like that. Okay, I will see later if I need to refine something here. I'm always on a layer mask, so no problem. I can always come back. So I will fill that with black. Of course, it's a little bit too much. I will do also here because it's really not good. I think it's the decontaminate I applied, which was a little bit too much. Okay. I don't know for this part. I will see later. Of course, here you see it's not real. So we will see later how to take small parts of branches and add them here to make something more beautiful. So now the last step for my selection will be to darken. As I said, I know it's not good yet, but I will darken my scenery. So I will darken inside. So there are a lot of possibilities here. For example, I could add an adjustment like levels. I can add a clipping mask to make sure that the levels I will apply will be just applied in my selection. And this is what I will do. So, okay, I darken. And you see, it begins to be good in the background. That's one possibility. Of course, I will need to remove the levels here because it's too dark. There is another possibility. I will show you. I will delete that. Probably a little bit better. I will add the gradient from black to transparency. Okay. But I want to reverse it. Okay. And here again, right click and I will add a clipping mask. So you see now it just applied to the top because it's a gradient. So the black part of is here on the top. So it's better. You see now I get something which for me it's enough. I will need to do something here, but we will do that later when we finish our selection. So I can of course double click. I can move a little bit my gradients, but I think like that. I even can change a little bit the angle if I like, because you can see that here I have a diagonal. So let's try, we'll see. No, no, I think it was good like it was 90 degrees. Okay, so we are done. If it's too dark, of course, it's probably a little bit too dark here on the tree, you see. So on the layer mask, as always, I will take my pen tool, sorry. I will lower a little bit the opacity of, I will reduce a little bit the hardness. I want something to be more soft, and I will clean. Here again, it's too fast, or I will lower. Okay. Uh, okay, here again, you have to do a little bit better, but yeah. Let's do a little bit here also. Okay, probably on this one also. I think it's too much light on the top, so I will paint now with white. I will lower the opacity and to make a little bit darker on the top. Okay, something like that. And probably also I will need to do something on this one. So black here, more opacity. Okay, okay, it's too much. So the contrary, because I have a little bit of glow around. Okay, too much here, sorry. The contrary, black, opacity to make it dark. Oh, sorry, the contrary, white to make it a little bit. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I think we are done with the selection. I don't know here. Probably there is something to do. Let's try with another possibility now. I will just create a new empty layer. I will also add a clipping mask. So a clipping mask, right click, and you can, sorry, here create a clipping mask. But if you scroll down between the two layers and hold the Alt or Option key, you see that the cursor change and you click and you create the clipping mask. And with the brush black, you could also, as you can see, you can paint inside the selection. Look at the before, after. It's probably a little bit better. So if you are here, probably I could also darken a little bit. Okay. I don't know here. Another possibility, because my branches and my trees are completely, almost completely black. But if you want the texture, for example, I will create a new layer, clipping mask, and I could, with a stamp, the clone stamp tool. Well, there are two possibilities. The best one would be to create a texture with the texture of the tree, but let's do that faster with the clone stamp tool. I will just be sure that all layers are selected here. Okay, and alt you hold the Alt or Option key, click, and you see, you will apply the texture. It will apply the texture on the tree. You see here, before, after. That's another possibility, which will make it a little bit realistic. Oh, I did a mistake a little bit here. So I select again and okay. Okay, I will stop here, but oh, probably here, probably a little bit. I Alt or Option key, Alt, and see. Yeah. So it's a little bit more realistic. Of course, you need to spend a lot of time to do that all the way. Last step at this point will be to, by the way, it's I need to darken a little bit. So I think it was this one with a brush here. It's a little bit too much light here. Okay, so now the idea will be just to put some branches here. And at the end of the work, I will add a character here looking at the pyramid. By the way, I think I have a lot of branches here, but I will not change anything. It will be too much work. Okay, I will, that's not a good idea, in fact, but I will first duplicate Control or Command J my layer with the layer mask. I will just unclick it to hide the visibility, and I will, in fact, select everything here, all the small refining I did, because I'm sure I will not do anything else here. So it's better, I prefer to select everything on the first one or on the top, whatever. And to this one, you first hold the Shift key to select them all together, right click and merge layers. Okay, so now that's my final layer. But by the way, if I still need the layer mask, I can hold the Control or Command key, Okay, and add a layer mask. Okay, that will not change anything. Now, yes, I said there is a little bit too much light here on this tree, so a new small layer, clipping mask. Oops, sorry, clipping mask. Okay, and I will, with a brush, low opacity, I will darken here a little bit, something like that. Okay, it's better. Okay, so once again, I will select them and merge them. Because why I do that also, because I will need to select small parts here of branches to put them here. So that's what I will do now. I can take the lasso tool or the polygonal lasso tool, and I will, for example, take this small part. Okay. Okay. I need that. Control or Command J, and I will drag it somewhere here. So V tool, okay, or V, move tool, sorry, V on your keyboard. And you see, I can move it. And I will try to find something which will work. I don't know. Of course, it has to be behind, because if you are over, you see, you will see this small part if you are behind. So now it's good. Okay. I can duplicate this one, Control or Command J, Control or Command T, and I will do another one. I will make it in another. Of course, you have to be careful to for people not to think it's a repetition. By the way, I could right click inside and flip horizontal. So you can see that now it's a little bit different. Okay, let's do like that. I will take another one somewhere in another place here. Oh, I have to be, of course, here, sorry. Okay, I will, oops, sorry. I moved my layer. Yeah, I was not on the right tool. So lasso tool. I don't know. I will take all these parts. Okay, Control or Command J. Move tool, V on your keyboard. You drag it somewhere. That, for example. Okay. I will repeat it. Control Command J. Control Command T. I can make it bigger, for example. Why not? Uh, Flip horizontal. Why not? I will put, okay, something like that. And for the moment, I think it's enough because I will add a character here. So don't forget, I need to drag them behind. By the way, it's not very beautiful here. So, off, I don't know. I could delete that on the layer mask with my selection here. Okay, right click, make selection, 0, and layer mask, sorry. Control I, yes, I had to be on this one. Right click and I can apply it. So now it's a little bit better. I will transform it, make it something like that. Okay. Okay, so you need to take your time and find the, by the way, I could add something here. I will duplicate this one, Control Command J, transform. I will put something here, for example. Yeah, it's probably a little bit better. I will just make it a little bit to the right. Okay. It's enough for me. So once again, they have to be behind my layer. And now that I'm done with that, once again, I could put everything in a group, for example. So I will just take all this layer and once again, right click, I will merge layers. So now that's I'm done. I'm done with my background, because now we will work on the atmosphere here, because it's not yet good. Now I will work a little bit here on my foreground. I would like to add a little bit of darkness and more contrast. So there are a lot of ways To do that, I will, for example, add a curve. I can do a S with my curve, something like that. You see now I get something much more contrasted, which is better. But of course, it's too dark here, so I will just clean the top part. By the way, I could also do that on with my selection, but here I can do that directly with a brush. Okay, I will do something like that, and okay. I just remove the effect. So I just want it. It's too much, by the way, also on my architecture here. Okay. Check. Always check when you do something new, when you add an adjustment or something, you always do the before after. That's very important to understand the difference. Now, there is something I like very much to do in my images, which consists in creating a vignette. I don't want a vignette on the top of my image. It would be not very nice, I think, with the sky, etc. But I will vignette here at the bottom of my image to make people looking here inside the image, to be more inside the image. So, for example, rectangular marquee tool. I will select this part of my image. I will subtract an elliptical marquee tool. Okay, so here in the toolbar, don't forget to click subtract from selection, click drag. With the space bar, I can adjust here my, and that's what I get. I like this kind of shapes, like a curve, and levels. I will darken everything. I will remove everything from highlights to almost shadows, something like that. Not completely, but with a little bit of transparency. I click the icon of the mask to get here feather. Okay, and I will increase step by step the feather until I get something smooth, and I don't see anymore the line of my selection. So here again, before, after. Indeed, I think it was too much light here at the bottom of my image. I can lower also a little bit the opacity of the layer, like that, and always try to check. Okay, more detail here. The light, you see the light of the sky will not match with the color of the sky here inside. But so I will come back to, I will try to make the sky here, the blue of the sky, a little bit darker, because as you can see, of course, in my image, the sky inside, because there is a lot of light, was a little bit different. Let's try to do something on the pyramid. So I will make this layer, only this layer visible. So to do that, you put your cursor on the eye, you hold the Alt or Option key, click. So you see this one. So I will select it very fast. I don't need a lot of details because the area I want to enhance a little bit is okay. So I'm on my layer, Control or Command J. Okay, I get the pyramid. I will darken a little bit here, I don't know, with a curve, clipping mask. I'm just looking if... by the way, you see when I change here the light, of course, I add a little bit of saturation. If you want to avoid that, you change the blend mode from normal to luminosity, and you will have less problem with that. Okay, I think it's a little bit better before, after, but it's too much, of course. I just need that here in the center. So I will invert the layer mask, Control or Command I, okay? And with a brush, I will reveal this part of my pyramid. Okay. Okay. Of course, here it would be, you see, the before and after. I can lower a little bit the opacity. Of course, it would take a lot of time to try to do better, but here I think it's enough because once again, consider that there will be a character here. Mhm. By the way, I think we could also some little tips. We could also add a little bit more light um, with elliptical marquee tool. I will do something like that. Consider that the light will be behind my scenery here. It is just to lighten a little bit the pyramid level. Now I need the contrary. I want white, almost white. I click the mask feather. Okay, of course, it's too much. So I will just lower the opacity. Okay, so the before, after, it gives us some of a kind of a magic light. Or the character. So I will open the file with my character. Okay, so I need to find the right place to put it. So it will be here just over my layer mask, by the way. Wait. I will merge these two layers together. Also, I don't need two of them. Merge. Okay, not bad. Character, I will just drag it to my image. I will I will convert to smart object. So I will, of course, reduce a Control Command T. I don't know. I will put it here. Let's try something like that. Probably a little bit too big. Control Command T, transform. Okay. I think I will do an horizontal flip because he is not looking at. You can see it's difficult, of course, to understand what he's looking at. But Control or Command T, right click inside the transform and flip horizontal. Yeah, I think it's the best direction. Mhm. Okay, so now I will here have to make something. I think I will put this flag behind the tree. So with a layer mask, I will try a brush, black, of course, not much of hardness to maximum. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure. I don't know what is best. I don't know. I'm not sure. It cuts a little bit the leg. I don't know. Oh, let's do like that. Okay, I could add also a little bit of shadow here. That's a technique to make the character not floating. Here it's okay, but I can just create an empty layer, brush with very low opacity, something like yes, 13, 15, and with black. You see, if I add black, oh, it's too far. You see, before, after. So it's not looking as floating. It's better. Now I will need to add a little bit of glow on it. So there are a lot of possibilities here. Let's try one which is not very academic, but I will select the character, Control or Command, click on the thumbnail. Okay. I will select top menu select modify in English, sorry, border. Okay. White, yeah, 5 pixels. It's okay. And you see, I selected something here. I will Control or Command J. Okay. So I get a new layer, you see, around. I will convert it to smart object. And I will add a little bit of Gaussian blur. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You see the difference? Before, after, it added. You don't have to go, of course, big numbers because you will not see the difference. So just a little bit. Review, before. Yeah, I think it's enough. Okay, I think it's enough for me. Mhm. Okay, that's for the character. And now I will just make some few adjustment with lights on the stone here, etc. So I will work now. There are two possibilities, in fact. A destructive one, because I will work with the Dodge and Burn tool, which will be directly on the layer, so it will be destructive. And after that, I will show you a much better not much better, but on layers with 50% gray layers. So for now, let's create a stamp layer. So the shift key, or the shortcut is for PC, Shift Control Alt E, okay, or for Mac, Shift Command Option E. Okay, so that's it. As I said, Dodge tool, because I will add a little bit of light in some part of my image. So right click, hardness, of course, to 0. The exposure, not too much. We will try with a low number, something like 8, 10, and we will see. You see, I add a little bit of light. I am on the range is highlights, but I could also try on midtones, because we have midtones here. See? And the before, after. It gives something to my image. I could also increase a little bit the exposure, reduce, you see? I think it's probably too much, but we will lower the opacity of our, okay? When you add a little bit of light like that, it completely, you will see it change completely your image. Okay. Okay, and look, before, after. Of course, it's a little bit too much. I exaggerate for you to see what I do, but I can lower a little bit like that, and you see, it's better. Mhm. I will merge the two layers. I don't need them too much. I will just hide the visibility. Now I will do the same, but with what we call 50% gray layers. So I will create a new layer here, the small plus. But before I click on the icon, I will hold the Alt or Option key, okay, and light. I will rename it Light Plus, for example. Here, I need to change the blend mode to, if I want something soft, soft light, yeah. And don't forget to click the checkbox, fill with soft light, neutral color, 15% gray, and OK. So as you can see, I create a new layer, but there is nothing, it changed nothing to my image. And now with the brush, very low opacity, flow also, I will reduce the flow. Okay, something like that. If I want to lighten, I will use white as foreground color. If I would like to darken, it would be black. And now I will do what I did previously, but you see, Now it is on a layer. So on a layer, you can delete it. You can do everything you like. By the way, there is also a little tip. You can add a little bit of Gaussian blur to it. Gaussian blur, just a little bit. We'll see the difference. You need to wait a little bit the preview. Oh, okay. Okay, just a little bit. Now, because of the blend mode, soft light, it's difficult it's impossible to add more light. So I will create a new layer. Once again, before I click, I hold the option or Alt key, click, light, plus, plus. And now I will choose as a blend mode, I don't remember in English. I think it's vivid light or hard light or vivid light. I think it's vivid light. Fill. I click the checkbox. Okay. And now you will see that you see I can add much more light. That's because of the blend mode. Okay, it's probably here too much also. Before, after. Yeah, I will reduce a little bit. Okay. Okay, so before and after. You see, it's not that flat. You create a little bit of light. Of course, it does not look real, but think the next step and you will see what I will do later. Okay, so I'm almost done with this one. But by the way, with the character, so I will delete this one. I don't need it anymore. With the character, you could also double click here and you could add in English outer glow. As you can see, it makes a big difference. Yeah, of course, it will. I need to clean it a little bit, but luminosity, I will dark. Okay, let's do that. It's a little bit different. You see, outer glow before after. Okay. I think I'm done with with my image. So I will just create on the very top of my panel a stamp layer. So I repeat the short key Shift Control Alt E on PC or Shift Command Option E on Mac. Okay. I will do two last steps. One with Boris FX plugin, and another one with Flood, because I can show you, by the way, the previous result. Okay, so you don't see it very much. You see the light is even different here. Once again, you never will get the same. By the way, here you see I cleaned, comparing with this one, I cleaned a little bit. I did the same that I did here. I deleted everything between the trees and I reconstruct some branches here. So you have a little better view on the pyramid. Okay, let's come back to our image. So Boris FX. I will duplicate this layer, filter Boris FX. So Boris FX, they have several plugins because they are very well known for movies. They have softwares to create special effects on movies. The one for photography is optics. Okay, so Boris FX, you have it works a little bit like Photoshop. You see on the top left here, you have layers. You can change the blend mode, the opacity, etc., and you have 1,000 possibility. And for each filter, you will see on the one I want to apply. You can change everything. So I go to my favorites because there are so much filters that it's a good idea to make your own favorites here. So wood noodles. You see the before, after. I just added this filter. I can look if I change them. You see, I give a special mood to my image. That's incredible. I like that very, very much. You see, you can, you have, in fact, tons of possibilities. I like this one. And you see, you can change the value of the scale, for example, if I increase it. You see, that's really fantastic. You can change everything, everything, everything. Mm, yeah. Okay. So I will not do a lot of things, but you see, I will create a new layer because I like this a little bit fog effects. You see, you can create everything you like with Trello, that you can change everything here. It can be very, very, very realistic. I don't know. I will not play a lot with it. You see, you can really change the start colors, the end, everything, everything, everything. That's incredible. But you don't have to be a specialist to understand. It's quite easy to understand. It's not very, very complicated. Dragon effects, everything, everything. You can do a lot of texture, for example. You see texture. If I change the blend mode to, I don't know, screen, for example. Okay, you see, you can see the texture. You have a lot of texture, of course. You can do a lot of crazy crazy images. Mhm. Yeah. So you can change everything. Okay, so once again, here you can play on the colors. You see the curves, the enhancing, fluorescent, haze, black and white, etc. Diffusion blur, beauty studio, everything, blur channel, blue chroma. That's just no film labs. They have all the known atmospheres of I don't know. Let me try. You see, 300, for example. Yeah, Bloom DGT. I don't know all the movies, but Chunking Express. So they have the tones of these movies. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. By the way, why not this one? But I think I will delete this layer. I just want a little bit of texture. Oops. Okay. I will delete this layer. So I will just apply that. It was just to show you fast the software. It takes a little bit of time to create to make the rendering. So you see, before, after, it's create a completely different mood. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. I will duplicate. I always like to duplicate my layer. If I do something wrong, I always can come back. So now I can create the reflection with the water with flood. So filter, flood. Okay, so as you can see, flood create directly the reflection. So here you have a lot of possibility. You can change the height of the horizon, for example. Uh, by the way, I like, okay, something like that. Uh, offset the perspective, the altitude. I don't remember what, yeah, you see the altitude. Okay, the style, it will be very different depending of you choose complex or simple. You see, simple makes very, you can change the complexity, etc. But last time I like the complex one. Okay, if you increase the waviness, sorry, you see, you will get something like that. Okay, I don't know. I will do something very, very soft here, etc., etc. Yeah, that's almost everything everything you need is here in that window. I will just apply, okay, and you will see the result. Okay, you have to work here a little bit because it's a little bit too sharp, but I don't know, by the way. Let me try something with the layer mask, and a little bit of gradient here. If it would be smoother. Yeah, you see it's smoother. Transition is smoother a little bit. Better.